We have all been there. You wake up, you look in the mirror, and bam, a brand new pimple has decided to show up uninvited. But have you ever stopped to think about what's really going on under the surface? Well, today we're going to go deep, right under the skin, to uncover the secret life of a pimple, from its tiny, invisible start to its very visible finish. Seriously, what is going on down there? It feels like these things just appear out of thin air, right? But they don't. There's a whole chain of events that has to happen. So let's break down that process step by step. All right, so every single pimple has an origin story, and it starts long before you ever see a red bump on your face. It all begins with something really simple and totally microscopic, a blockage deep inside one of your pores. Now, to understand that blockage, we have to talk about the main character in this story, sebum. That's just the sciencey name for the natural oil your skin makes. Its job is to keep your skin lubricated and protected. And most of the time, it's great. It's your skin's built-in moisturizer. But here's where things can go a little sideways. Sometimes your body just makes too much sebum, and when that extra oil mixes with dead skin cells that are hanging around, you get this sticky, gummy paste. That paste forms a plug, and just like that, you've got a clogged pore. This little formula right here, this is the starting point for pretty much every pimple out there. Okay, so once that pore is clogged, our story can go in one of two directions. It's like a fork in the road, and this is what leads to those two famous frenemies we all know and, well, we all know them, the whitehead and the blackhead. So what is the actual difference between them? It's way simpler than you might think. If that clog gets trapped under the skin in a closed pore, it just stays white or flesh-colored. That's your whitehead. But if the pore is open to the air, all that gunk inside gets exposed to oxygen. A little chemical reaction called oxidation happens, and it turns dark. That's a blackhead. So no, it is not dirt. It's literally just about whether the pore is open or closed. That's it. So up to this point, all we really have is a clogged pore. It's not angry, it's not red, it's not inflamed, yet. For all of that to happen, a new character has to crash the party. And that is our unwanted guest, bacteria. And here's why things are about to get a whole lot worse. That clogged pore, it's basically a paradise for certain types of bacteria. I mean, think about it. It's warm, it's low on oxygen, and it's basically an all-you-can-eat buffet of oil and dead skin cells. It is the perfect breeding ground for them to multiply like crazy. Okay, so the bacteria are having a field day. This is when your body's immune system finally sounds the alarm. It's like, whoa, we've got an invasion here. It sends in the troops to fight the infection, and that battle, that is what we see and feel on the surface as inflammation. Now, this whole inflammatory process happens in a couple of stages. First, you get what's called a papule. That's just the solid, red, swollen bump that's kind of tender. But as the battle rages on, pus, which is just a lovely mix of oil, dead skin, and bacteria, starts to build up. All that pressure creates that visible whitehead, turning our papule into a pustule. So, eventually, the battle winds down and the pimple starts to heal. But now we're left with the aftermath. And let's be honest, the biggest worry isn't always the pimple itself. It's what it might leave behind. This is it, isn't it? The million-dollar question. After going through all of that, are you going to be left with a permanent reminder on your face? Well, the answer is actually pretty straightforward. It all comes down to how deep the damage went. If it was just a small surface-level skirmish, it'll probably heal without a trace. But if that inflammation was really deep and it damaged the surrounding skin tissue, well, that's when you can be left with an acne scar. So there you have it, the entire biography of a pimple, from a quiet little clog to a full-blown inflammatory battle. You know the whole story now from beginning to end. The only question left is, what are you going to do with that knowledge?